Hi guys, Deluded Guna. Obviously, I like to stay in my own lane, mind my own business. I mean, if you're from where I'm from, that's how you conduct your day, really. But yeah, a lot of people that I speak to have mentioned it. A lot of people have added me on social networks saying it. A lot of people in my YouTube comments are saying it. Talking about Arsenal Fan TV and my opinions. Like I said, I like to mind my own business in regards to the politics around our club. Obviously, I'm aware to it. I'm aware of it more, should I say. But especially with today, people are mentioning it today, and with what in regards to allegedly, I don't know the ins and outs of it, in regards to what's happened with some of the members on it, Robbie and Claude. I mean, anyone that picks on Claude's just preying on the weak. Robbie seems to be like a down to earth guy, but yeah, I don't know the ins of it. But yeah, let's get into it. Firstly, I believe in principle. It's a great concept. It allows the small guys, the likes of me or you, whether we go to matches when we can, whether we watch it at home or wherever, it allows us to have a voice. It allows us to interact with other people. It allows us to talk about football. On top of that, alone we don't really have that much of a voice, but collectively when we join forces and collaborate, we have a massive voice. You look at last summer, obviously the club, sorry, know the targets and have been through months and identifying targets, but we do kind of force their hand. Look at last summer when we was talking about signings, especially in the wake of when we got battered against Liverpool this summer. They kind of had to force the hand in regards to a couple of the signings to kind of appease fans and force the hands. So yeah, things like that. Like I said, the previous points, the grassroots level fans, it allows them a voice. The problem now becomes is when certain individuals want to abuse that and use it for agendas and attention, downright attention seeking, and it just creates toxicness and things like that. I mean, you've got people on that show just reinforcing stereotypes in society with forced African accents. You can't tell me some people are not on the payroll when they're saying things like we clearly got battered. They're saying things like they're mentioning the grass and they're mentioning shin pads, and we've only beat two at the point when we only beat the two non-league sides in the FA Cup. People are saying the title race is back on for us. You can't tell me people are not being paid and people are not attention seeking and haven't got agendas to fill when they're saying nonsense like that. Not only that, it takes away from the football and focuses more on the gimmicks to the point where some people make cool comments and fine comments, and a lot of comments I agree with, but it takes away from what we're all here for, the football, and more on the gimmicks. I mean, too many times people are going on it looking for meltdowns and things like that, when that's not the case. If you look at DT and Troops, I actually agree with a lot of things they say, but sadly, because of how the nature of the show is, a lot of what they're saying gets lost because of who they are, sadly. Troops, I don't agree with a lot of people because he says blood and fam. I mean, I speak exactly like that, and it's downright prejudice and things like that to assume the man is not intelligent just because he speaks like that. Does he say it a bit excessively? Yes, but it's fine. People are commenting in the YouTube things, blood and fam, how many times he said it. That's all nonsense. The man doesn't need to change the way he speaks. DT, a lot of whatever on social media, says a lot of positive comments, but again, it gets lost with who he is and all the stuff. I watched the Neville interview, big hype around it. I thought they were gonna ask a lot of things. I personally feel DT is the only person that offered some sort of substance to Gary Neville and was pushing for questions that fans actually really want to hear. The rest were too busy trying to clean their own backs and oh, you said this and all of that stuff. So yeah, I think in principle it's cool. I do think it does, obviously to a degree it does create a toxic nature. Anyone that's been to the games knows that people that don't like Arsenal Fan TV will surround it, and it can create a hostile nature. We all should have opinions, whether you agree or not. No two people on that Arsenal Fan TV thing agree. We're all having opinions, whether it's this platform or another. This shouldn't be what happens. I will say, and again, people like I've almost forgotten that what's his name, TY or whatever. He's definitely getting paid. He's definitely getting paid. He's there with all the merchandise. Again, he's saying nonsense. People can't tell me people are not getting paid. Robbie, cool guy. I actually agree with a lot of things he says. You can tell he's a down to earth person and things like that. I see he's shining. You can't tell me you ain't getting a lot of money for this. Yeah, I see he's shining, B. But there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that to a degree. He's created a niche. He's set his own way. Why can't he get some sort of money from it? Anyone that's come from nothing knows how it is. Like people say the meltdowns and things like that, that's only when people watch it. That's not entirely true. Of course it does get certain more people want to watch it to see our meltdowns. People do prey on our meltdowns. People want to laugh at Arsenal fans. People laugh at us. People say that certain Arsenal fans throw prawn cocktails and prosecco out when they fight. So it's never going to escape. It's never going to escape us. and things like that. People just want to see certain rants. Them things are not going to escape us. And to a degree, the ranting has to stay to a degree. You need a degree of realness. But when it's excessively and people just looking at grown men acting like children to a degree and fighting each other, it just creates a hostile atmosphere for the club. Like, especially Arsenal fans who speak of being classy and this and that. All you got to do is go on social media, numerous incidences of fights, of all sorts of nonsense, of throwing things. The media vastly overstate a lot of incidences that happen on Arsenal fan TV as well. But the question is it a bad thing? No, it's not. In principle, it's actually a good thing. It's people that are on the show or whatnot abusing it. And you now have a paradox where the likes of DT and people that actually might say things that make sense, people are losing what they're saying because of who they are and because of the prejudices that they've now faced and are now being labelled, if you get what I'm saying. There is a lot of people who talk a lot of sense. I think it's Mark or Lee or Hughes or something like that. He speaks a lot of sense. I don't really know if he's a regular or something like that, but there is a lot of people that speak sense. But to a degree, the regulars, again, like I said, get the people watching. So I don't know. I don't know. My answer would be get more with the football, do more with the football, talk more for the football, be known for the football, less for the gimmicks collectively. That's just, I don't know what else to say. Like, our fans talk about being classy. It's not just Arsenal fan TV. There's a lot of incidences, and it is to do with the club. The club are to blame for a lot of how we're carrying on, because if the realist of it is, if we were winning trophies and things like that, other fans wouldn't be flocking to Arsenal fan TV to have little gimmicks and little laughs at us. The reality is, a lot of fans see their club, see their pain, and they're still hurting, but they come and look at Arsenal and how we carry on and want to laugh. And when you see what happens on Arsenal fan TV, sometimes you can't disagree. But that's just my opinions. If you guys agree, if you guys are not, in short, I like it to a degree. I like it. I mean, I like all the platforms. They all have different things. I like it. It's just people abusing the power to a degree. But shout out to Robbie making his money. Deluded Guna signing out. That's my opinions.